Welcome to episode 7 of the Abstract Barcode podcast. My name is Christopher, where each and every weekday I bring you the news that you may not be aware of, to comment and criticize on it to the best and worst of my abilities. So without further ado, let's get started. First news story comes from Fox61.com. Fox61.com. Connecticut gun permits increased 73% in 2016. By way of the Associated Press. Article states gun enthusiasts in Connecticut believe concerns over changes to federal and state gun laws fueled a 73% increase in the number of pistol permits issued in the state last year. The Bulletin of Norwich reported Saturday that state police issued nearly 30,000 new pistol permits in 2016, up from just over 17,000 in 2015. Gun owners told the newspaper they believe the reasons for the spike included worries that Democrat Hillary Clinton would be elected president and press for more gun control, and that Democratic Governor Daniel P. Malloy would seek more gun restrictions. Pistol permits also increased in 2013 after Barack Obama was reelected as president. Permits jumped to nearly 26,700 in 2013. That's most of the news article. Very short article. Let's see what some of the comments are. Top comment, good. More law-abiding citizens being armed. Comment in regards to that comment, say, they better get a jump on this year if Governor Malloy passes that permit increase. And says, as part of his budget, Malloy is proposing to increase the state portion of the pistol permit fee from $70 to $300. He also is proposing the cost of the initial 5-year pistol permit fee from $140 to $370. Additionally, Malloy is proposing to increase background check fees from its current $50 to $75. So maybe that's why there's an influx of gun permits. To basically save money. Do it ahead of time. If you know you want something and you're going to purchase it, and you're getting told, hey, there's going to be a price increase if you don't buy it now, people are going to buy it now, just to be safe. So there's that. I mean, wouldn't you do it to save money? Another comment says, screw Connecticut. As a former resident of said state, I can tell you that they make so much money from permits. Not only do you pay for the permit, but you pay a tax on the permit, and you also need to take a course before you get your permit, which can cost from $200 to $300 for a class alone. Taxes and utilities are ridiculously high. Roads are crappy, and winters there are rough. Don't even get me started on heating. That was another comment. See if there's anything else that's good. Nope. So there's that. Next story comes from NBCnews.com. Kidnapped victim trapped in trunk escaped with help of insulin pump. This is by Alex. I just bit my tongue, literally. This comes from Alex Johnson from NBCnews.com. An Alabama nursing student who was kidnapped and locked in the trunk of her own car told Today she used the light on her insulin pump to find its latch before jumping to safety. This woman is 25, was kidnapped at gunpoint and forced to drive around Birmingham. She said the gunman threatened to kill her and tried to withdraw cash from her bank accounts with her ATM card. Eventually, the man locked her in the trunk. An exclusive, she said the whole time the whole time he's driving, he's yelling at me from the front seat. You're lying. I know you have something. Give me your money, end quote. The gunman and her Nissan were recorded on surveillance video at a gas station, and the camera was rolling when she flung the trunk open from inside and flopped out, as she put it. Quote, I just got the bright idea to use my insulin pump light, which is not a bright light, but it was bright enough to see, she said. So I had to put it right on top of it to look and see for the latch, end quote. She told Birmingham police confirmed her account of the escape. So did the owner of the gas station. Quote, as he was leaving, I saw the trunk popped open and a woman jumped out of the trunk and came inside the store. I let her inside a safe place and locked the door and called the police, end quote. The culprit remains at large. Quote, he had my phone, keys, car, everything gone. Like I literally just had a jacket, she said, end quote. See what some of the comments are. Top comment. I hope this guy is found. Well, duh. I mean, it's not like you just want him to get away. Next comment. The amazing thing here was a latch. I've had 3 of these cars. On 2, the plastic cord with the latch tore while popping it through the back seat. And the 3rd, the prior owner had already done it for me. Another comment. Stop telling kidnappers how their victims escaped. Comment to that comment. Why? Most criminals are dumb. Keyword right there is most. Not like they're going to be checking for insulin pumps now. So yeah, good for her for escaping. Hope she gets her car back. Kind of sucks. Okay, next story comes from NBCPhiladelphia.com. And I hate autoplay. There should be a law that says no video can autoplay. So, like I said, this comes from NBCPhiladelphia.com by Brian McCrone and Rita Portala. Again, two people doing a news article. Philadelphia's largest Cinco de Mayo celebration canceled in fear of immigration crackdown. Article states one of Philadelphia's most prominent Latin American events, and my phone's blowing up. El Carnaval de Puebla has been canceled this year because of what one organizer called, quote, the severe conditions affecting the immigrant community, end quote. The annual parade through South Philadelphia has taken place in late April or early May for the last decade, and it's the city's largest Cinco de Mayo celebration. As many as 15,000 people gather from as far as New England and Chicago. The decision to cancel this was, quote, sad but responsible, end quote, in a light of immigration crackdown by federal authorities. Article goes on to say, the person who just gave that quote, So the entire Mexican-American community, both those here legally and those undocumented, are disheartened by reports of large-scale arrests and detainments by officers with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This week, ICE, Immigration's Customs Enforcement, announced that 248 people in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and West Virginia are now in federal custody, awaiting deportation after a 2-week sweep. Quote, the group of 6 organizers decided to cancel unanimously. Everyone is offended by the actions of ICE. They do not feel comfortable holding the event. ICE officer said, quote, ICE's enforcement actions are targeted and lead-driven. ICE does not conduct sweeps or raids that target aliens indiscriminately, end quote. A spokesperson with the Mexican consulate in Philadelphia said they are aware of Carnival's cancellation and that consular officials are not surprised about the current demeanor of citizens and undocumented immigrants alike. So, top comment says, outside of Puebla, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, it's pretty much a non-holiday in Mexico itself. I'm convinced the entire rise in the U.S. has been the result of a clever marketing campaign by Cuervo, Corona, Dos Equis, et al. Next comment, why? There won't be any Mexicans there. They don't give a care about Cinco de Mayo. It's an American excuse to get drunk more than anything. Yeah. Third comment is a reference to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, saying the gang throws a parade. And then another comment says how many illegals are in that city. Comment in regards to that comment, say a lot. It is a sanctuary city. Last summer I saw estimated was from a 2009 article giving the rough number of 105,000 people. So, I want to see something. The article states undocumented immigrants. Now, it's all in the phrasing that people don't realize. Undocumented immigrants are the same as illegal immigrants, basically. So look at the way they wrote the article. They keep saying undocumented, undocumented. What if you took out all undocumented workers, undocumented immigrants, and put in illegal immigrants in the article? How would the phrasing in that sound? That's what you really got to look at when you look at all news. Look at the way everything is typed, spoke, everything. Okay, next one comes from ABC7Chicago.com. Judge orders Chicago Army veteran deported to Mexico? Okay. This is from Laura Podesta. Article states an Army veteran who served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan will be deported to Mexico, a judge ruled last week. On Sunday morning, family and supporters of Army Private First Class Miguel Perez Jr., who was born in Mexico and grew up in Chicago, gathered at a church. Quote, "My son fought for this country, not for Mexico," end quote, his mother said. His parents said it's unfair that their son, who legally came to the U.S. at age 8 and fought for his country, may not be able to call the U.S. home. Quote, or not quote. You got a little asterisk right there. May not. May. Don't know. Let's see. Perez, 38, was a legal permanent resident when he joined the Army and said he thought he became a legal U.S. citizen when he enlisted. However, that was not the case. About 4 years after leaving the military, Perez served prison time for a felony drug offense, which sparked the deportation proceedings. A U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer, ICE, spokesperson said Perez was targeted for removal only after being convicted of a felony for selling drugs after he left the Army in 2010. For years, the family has been fighting back against his deportation, saying if Perez returns to Mexico, he could be in danger. Last week, a judge also denied the torture claim. What? What torture claim do you work? That's the first time that's brought up in the article. What torture claim? That doesn't make any sense. They just threw that in. So what's next? Perez's attorney appealed the judge's ruling and reached out to U.S. Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth, both Illinois Democrats, asking to give Perez retroactive citizenship, stating on the day he first served his country in the Army, he is still being currently held in ICE custody. So let's break this down. Yes, he did fight for the U.S. Okay. Let's take the drugs, the torture claim, whatever that is, out. So let's see. He came here legally at age 8. He was a legal permanent resident when he joined the Army and said he thought he became a legal U.S. citizen. So you can think all you want, whether you do something or not. Is it true? You know? I mean, I think that's the key. He thought. Did he research? Did he look up how to become a U.S. citizen? No, if not, then even so, I mean, he still isn't a U.S. citizen. Some of the comments say, I like to dig when I read these posts. I wasn't familiar with this case. Surely there must be more to it. Was the dude smoke some weed? In February 2010, Perez was convicted of delivery of more than 2 pounds of cocaine and was sentenced to 15 years in state prison, according to a statement from U.S. ICE. Someone responded to that comment saying there's always another side to the story with these sort of things. I'm a pretty strong advocate that our criminal justice system is pretty broken, especially the drug-related offenses, but this is one of those play stupid games, win stupid prizes sort of things. Another comment says, Everyone in the military knows this. He would have to have known. It is common knowledge in the military that service does not equal citizenship. The U.S. military made it obvious even back in 1968, 1966, blah, blah, blah. When I served, that service did not automatically mean citizenship. Further, honorable service did mean you could be fast-tracked and jump to the head of the line. Either he was discharged less than honorably or is lying, or both. They made it public and easy for active duty to become citizens. This is only believable to those who have not been in the military. This is a classic example of a story that sounds good, but it doesn't hold up with the facts. Someone responded to that saying, "What's in the Army during the late 1990s? Policy was all green card holders can apply for citizenship 2 years after enlistment. Looks like he didn't file the papers." Another comment says, "Very misleading title when you look more into the story." Well, yeah. Yeah. Had sensationalist headlines. Someone responded to that saying, "Wait, the media has misleading titles? Shocking." Yeah. So do your research, people. If you're told something, look it up. Make sure it's real. Get other sources. Same for this guy. You thought something. Are you sure? Do you know? Look it up. Make sure. Next story comes from ynetnews.com. Iran's supreme leader, Snoke. No, that's me. Throwing that in there. Iran's supreme leader calls gender equality a, quote, Zionist conspiracy, end quote. Addressing a gathering of religious eulogists celebrating Iran's National Women's and Mother's Day, Ayatollah Khamenei attacked the West's and Israel's ideas of women's rights and gender equality, claiming they undermine women's God-granted position as housewives. Wow. How can you think like this? Really? Where does it say, where does God say, all women need to be housewives? Let's see. Article goes on to say Iran's supreme leader, because I can't pronounce it, accused Israel and the West on Sunday morning of promoting women's exploitation for the purpose of earthly pleasures, calling it a, quote, Zionist conspiracy, end quote, aimed at destroying human society. End quotes relayed by Iranian news agency. This person who was speaking at the event that mostly focused on women's position in Islamic society mocked the West's ideal of gender equality, claiming that raising certain topics in support of women's rights actually undermines their position in society, which is predetermined by God. Quote, these neglectful people humiliate the role of a housewife, while a housewife is actually in charge of raising and educating the most valuable product, which is a human being, the Ayatollah said. Right, Ayatollah? Yeah, Ayatollah. Adding, unfortunately, sometimes inside the country and in some Islamic environments, tasks and expectations are ascribed to women that in fact collapse and humiliate their roles. End quote. The Iranian leader then referred to some similarities and differences between men and women as described by God, saying, quote, despite sharing similar goals, like, quote, rising to spiritual positions, leadership, and the ability to guide human beings, men and women are different when it comes to responsibilities and management of life, end quote. Wow. I wonder why he thinks that way. And if you just say like, oh, God says it, well, where does God say it? Quote, today, Western scholars and those who pursue issues like gender equality all regret their actions for the corruption they caused, he claimed, expressing hope that views of those who raised similar issues inside the country were not based on the Western alleged misconception, end quote. Some comments say, article says the dude got a haircut. What? No. Here we go. Top quote, so Iran's supreme leader browses 4chan and Reddit as well, apparently. Another comment says, quote, more rights is bad for them, end quote. Top-notch logic right there. Another comment, I don't know whether to laugh or to facepalm at the absolute stupidity of that statement. Another comment, something as nefarious as equality between genders had to be a Jewish plot. Nothing sneaks past supreme leader. When I was in high school working as a bag boy in a grocery store, I had this old guy come up to me and rant about Zionist conspiracies and how they're going to take over the world. Someone said in regards to that, oh, that's just Grandpa. Don't let him get started on JFK or the moon landing. Do one more. Dine and Dash comes from... I'll make sure I get this right. lawnews.com with a Z. Warrants out for man accused of Dine and Dash on multiple dates by Alberto Luperon. What do? I take a girl out to eat and then go, yeah, I gotta go. Oh, let's see. It's taking me... here we go. Just read it from the source at abc13.com. Dine and Dash dater strikes again. From abc13.com. A man who meets women online then dines and dashes while on the date has struck again. A woman thought she was just going on a typical blind date with Paul Gonzalez. He said, are you available at all this weekend for dinner? I said, yes. How about Sunday? Said the woman, who did not want to be identified. The woman says they met on the dating app Bumble, though he called himself Dave Gonzalez, and has since taken down his profile. They met for dinner and ordered right away. She says after he scarfed down most of his meal, he got up. Quote, he left maybe half a baked potato and then received a phone call and said, I need to take this call, end quote, the woman said. She says he never returned, leaving her with the bill. Quote, the waiter came back and said, he's not out there. Is this a first date? And I said, yes, this is a first blind date. And he said, he's gone. Shocked, she went online and discovered our previous stories about Gonzalez, how he had dined and dashed last summer, leaving at least 2 other women with large bills. Can't you just say you're paying for your own meal and say he's responsible for his? I mean, really. If that would happen to me, I'd be like, they get theirs. I ate what I ate, so I'm paying for what I ate. I didn't eat their food. They can pay for it. The woman says the restaurant was nice enough to comp Gonzalez's meal. She just had to pay for his glass of wine. That's still stupid. Comment says, article says the dude got a haircut without pain, too. What a crazy dude. Probably hops out of cabs without pain. What a crappy way to live your life. It will catch up with him soon enough. He has a warrant. I'm pretty sure it caught up with him. Another comment says, what is he going to say when he gets arrested? And the other inmates ask him, what is he in for? And then he says, are you going to eat that? Let's see what else there is. Okay, next story. Or wait. That's it. Yep, I'm going to end there. My throat hurts from talking. So, hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. Hope you maybe questioned humanity and how stupid people are sometimes. Did we learn anything today? I don't know. You just do a little better each time. Okay. Until next time, good night and good luck.